You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS. That was James Gang, Walk Away, and before that was Iggy Pop, Night Clubbing. We're here with my guest, Mike McCready.
Hello, Steve.
How are you?
I'm well. I had got to do an interesting photo session with you right when we got here. So
I'm going to post my version of it in a little bit, but you did a Polaroid of it.
I only have one single shot of it, and yes, I did a Polaroid of it, as I do with many things.
Yeah. Am I going to be giving it away then if I post my iPhone photo of it?
No, because mine might not even come out, because Polaroids do that sometimes. But you know what? I'm going to do one right now of you to put in my book.
Am I looking at you?
You are looking.
What do you want me to do? Direct me?
Like that.
Too
I don't
late.
want you. I want you to be normal. Perfect. Perfect.
I can act normal.
Can they see that out in Radio Land?
What?
I guess not.
Your book?
No, this. I'm just kidding.
No.
So we're gonna wait, and I'm gonna put it in here. Okay. Anyways,
So
you're in the book now.
you're on the road doing this, right? Touring for the book.
For over the period of 20 years, on and off. You know, started in 95, maybe even 91,
Wow.
but really started doing it in 94, 95.
I read that there's probably 20,000 photos that you've taken.
I think I have about that many.
How much money do you think that cost you?
Woo! If you figure they're about $1 a Polaroid,
Yeah.
and sometimes more than that. Oh, $20,000, $30,000. So
Wow.
I don't know if I'm ever making it back.
Well, you might make it back with this book.
Okay, well I hope so.
How long's it been out?
It's been out for about 2 months,
Yeah.
3 months, and I think it's sold about 11,000 so far, which has been pretty awesome.
That's good.
I'm kind of blown away by that. So
That's good.
yeah.
And
Thank you.
and now, did you have to get clearance from the people, or
Yeah.
you didn't because you took the picture?
No, yes and no. So for many of the kind of stars or musicians that came to the shows, we sent out, had to hunt them down and get them to sign it. Just
Sign off on it.
one of those things.
Yeah.
But in terms of the crowds that are in the back, they didn't sign off on any of it. But there's kind of a thing in Pearl Jam shows where you kind of allow yourself to be photographed. So that's what that is.
Yeah, I was thinking of that as someone.
I should have had you sign something. Uh-oh.
Like what?
Well, I don't know. I just don't want you to sue me right now.
No, I won't
Okay.
sue you.
Uh,
Yeah, he
okay.
is.
I didn't think you would.
I
Yeah.
was looking at the fan one. Is that your kids at Stonehenge?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
my son Jackson and Kaya, and my daughter Kaya.
Yeah, they're in the book.
I love Stonehenge.
There's a few pictures that stood out to me. That one, for some reason, your kids at Stonehenge,
Yeah.
and Mr. Potato Head getting a filling in the dentist.
So when you saw the Mr. Potato Head getting a filling is from this guy, Dr. Tabernakis, who was my dentist at one time down in Long Beach, California, and I asked him, hey, will you do a little scenario with this potato head? And he was game. And then the other one was the last time we were in England, was about 3 years ago. I took the kids, and I used some old films. Oh, there's kids right there. Some expired film, and that's why maybe it sticks out, because the expired film looks kind of cool.
Yeah. So, did you know, was this what you had in mind when you first got the Polaroid? I'm going to do this and someday make a book out of it.
You know what? I think it wasn't initially. It was kind of an influence by watching Eddie in our early club shows. He would take a Polaroid of the crowd, and we'd look at it later in the day, and I go, that's kind of a good idea. And nobody had any money back then, so we just buy it. He was very careful and meticulous with it, so it's kind of that influence.
Yeah. Because I guess Gene Simmons...
He told me that.
He took a picture of everything from the beginning. Birds.
He just, all of his dates and, every...
I wouldn't call them dates.
Yeah. I mean, well, okay.
After the show,
quick dates.
Things.
Yeah, it's one of the things that the groupies that he did.
Yeah.
And I think they all got stolen. All those books was the word on the street. But when I took a picture of Gene, he said, I have many Polaroids. And I thought, I know that. I know your story.
I actually do have a bunch of filthy Polaroids.
Do you?
Yeah.
You need to do your own book.
I don't know after birds. I don't know how to get them cleared.
Right?
There's no way. This was like in the 90s, when I had the long hair.
Yeah.
And I was a sex fiend.
Yeah.
But for some reason, a bit of a voyeur, too.
Were you riding a motorcycle at that time?
Yeah.
Because I remember, I lived here in '86, and I remember you in front of the Cat House.
Cat House in front of all the clubs.
Yeah.
I never used to go in.
You were just out in the front with your motorcycle, either
Waiting
Mickey
for,
Rourke maybe was out
Yes.
there? Okay.
Yes. Waiting for Victims.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun back then.
Yeah. How about now, though?
Well,
Yeah.
too old.
I'm just saying, are you having fun?
I still ride my motorcycle, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't hang outside clubs anymore.
Yeah.
But I still love riding my bike.
Well, that's good.
Do it all when all I can.
Yeah. I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How did you get that guitar sound on Nevermind the Bollocks?
It's a secret.
Just give me a little inkling on on bodies or any of that.
Well, bodies is doubled,
Okay.
obviously. I used to double most things.
Through a
tight,
twin.
Tight. Through a twin.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, cranked to the top. But
No pedals.
No pedals. The only pedal I used was on Anarchy. It was a Phase 90.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That was the only pedal I used. I had a Black Beauty
Mm-hmm.
that I sometimes did, but the bulk of the rhythms were all done on the White Les Paul. But this is the key.
And mm-hmm.
In the twin, I had these speakers in it called Gauss speakers.
Mm-hmm. Gauss.
They had a nice mid-range to it. It wasn't top-heavy, like trebly. It wasn't ear-biting, It had a great mid-sound.
Mm-hmm.
So when you cranked it up, it had this beautiful, warm, sound.
You can hear it. You can hear the texture of it.
Yeah. And it was the Gauss speakers. And it was an old twin, too.
Yeah. I just love it. Love your sound.
I purchased that I didn't purchase it. I accumulated that from Hammersmith Odeon too.
That amp is one that you might have borrowed that people didn't realize that you borrowed it?
Well, I used to borrow everything.
Yeah.
So it's just a big blur. So it comes under no one knows because everything was pilfered.
Yeah. Well, that one was the best pilfer that you could have had for sure. So I've been trying to steal that sound for a long time.
Yeah.
So, thank you for the tip. Appreciate it.
I don't know if they still make Gauss speakers.
I've heard that before, man.
I tried
Yeah.
to do a thing with Fender to reenact it. Do one
Yeah.
with the writing on the front, Guitar Hero, Sex Pistols, and put these Gauss speakers in, and they couldn't seem to get it together to put. I think they still make them.
Yeah.
Gauss. They're like German, right? Gauss.
Yeah, I believe so.
Sounds German.
But I love it. I love that.
So that's it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the tip and a white Les Paul.
Yeah. No, I didn't steal.
I,
That came from New York Dolls.
because it was Sylvain's, right?
Yeah.
And it had the sticker that he
Yeah.
put on it,
Yeah.
which is the song New York is about that,
Yeah.
right? About Johnny Thunders, basically.
Taking the piss out of Thunders.
Right.
Yeah.
Love it. Sorry, we're on to the Sex Pistols, but that's okay. I've been
I'm
wanting
all right.
I want to interview you for the Pearl Jam radio station sometime.
Yeah. What's that all about? Do you do? Who does it? You'll share it.
We all share it, but I've done a lot of it, a lot of the interviews because it's fun, and we usually bring a minivan. My wife and I have a minivan, and we had like Robert Plant in my kids' minivan, and which is the craziest kind of thing ever. And he agreed to do it, and we do that up at a festival called Sasquatch up in Seattle. So
You was playing there as well.
no, we're just hanging out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just interviewing bands. There.
What a
So,
fun guy he is, Robert Plant.
very fun, very English sarcasm
Yeah.
going on.
That Birmingham thing.
It's just right over my head. And I think he just dogged me like 2 weeks later. But
You had to listen back to it before it sunk in.
I think it took me a second to get it.
Did he like Pearl Jam?
I'm not sure if he did. I think he came to a couple of our shows, so I'm hoping he did, and I think he feels. I think he did. I don't know. I hope so.
I'll ask him.
Yeah, please do.
He came on the show once. It was great.
Yeah.
We played some old 50s stuff. That's his stuff. He loves 50s music.
Yeah. We did a 50s song with him one time. We played a benefit with him, and I'm forgetting what it was, but he really wanted to play it. He wanted to play guitar on it, too. But anyways.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He did all right.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did all right. It was something.
Do you remember he did that Second Wind? What was the name of that band? The Blueberries or something? What were they called? Honey
Drippers, yes.
I mean, that was all based on 50s
Yeah,
music,
yeah. So in your book, though, it's
That's all good.
I'm going to stop interviewing you. You interview me.
You can
But
ask me whatever you want.
I
pal.
want to know how influential Roxy music was on you, because that surprised me in your book.
Major.
In terms of sound or visualization,
Visual.
or all that.
Visual and style. not cheesy glam. They were very stylish to me. And Brian Ferry was very stylish. You can tell.
Yeah.
You know, they had that extra thing going, and the songs are crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy good. You know, they were like real musicians.
Yeah.
Something I'll never be. But I can play Virginia Plain as long as it goes gin 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 gin. Gin.
There's an art to that too. There's totally an art to that. Yes.
Are you a fan of Roxy music?
As of late, yes. It took me a while to get into them, but
Yeah.
Virginia Plain. That's the first record, and Stranded. Some of this, I'm just getting into them now. So I'm late.
They're
on that
all
one.
great albums in their own right. The first two are more, you know, the self-titled one, Roxy Music, and then For Your Pleasure with Strand on it.
Yeah.
And then
Do the Strand, right?
yeah, just oh man, I don't know. They did something for me as a teenager. You know, like, which I think you really get. That's when you really get locked into what your future's going to be.
Right.
When you're a teenager and you're susceptible to what you're seeing. You
Okay,
know.
here's a question. So I interviewed Billy Idol,
Yeah.
and he said that they had a thing in London around the time you guys were all coming up, and it was called the sus laws, the suspicious law. If you look suspicious, they could come and check you out and just go through your pockets.
The cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No.
At all?
No.
I thought that
I was too busy stealing.
You were 1 foot ahead of that.
I didn't deal with all that lower sus stuff.
Okay.
I was going in hard.
Hence a nice amp and maybe a anyways, it's a good book. But
Yeah.
anyways, go ahead, please. I'm interviewing you.
It's okay. Did you play? What did you do at the Regent? Did you do a thing yesterday or Saturday
The Regent Theater.
downtown?
I'm doing it tomorrow.
Oh no!
Yeah.
What are you doing there?
Oh, it's Cameron Crowe is going to interview me or look at the pictures and a couple pictures and ask me questions about him. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. We're just kind of doing it off the cuff, and people are going to watch, and I'm going to sign books.
That's kind of a big place.
Is it? I've not been there.
It is,
So-
right? It's like holds about 1,200. The Regency, I believe.
Uh-oh. Did we? Should we book somewhere smaller?
It's like a gig. Like
Yeah.
bands play there, right?
Well, hopefully we get some people there. I think it's doing okay. So
Well, I think
I
it's
didn't
gonna.
realize it was that big. But
Yeah, but you'll be all right after this.
okay.
I'll pull the punters in for you.
Please bring the punters.
Yes,
Those
sir.
for those in America, punters are the kids.
Someone who pays. That's what a paying
Is that what that is?
public. That's what a punter is.
Ooh, I was wrong.
And when you make a punt is when you make a bet on a horse or something.
Wow.
It's when you spend money.
I did not know that.
Yeah. What's the best way to describe it?
That makes sense.
Punter is. Yeah. So a fan or whoever it is who pays to get whatever you
Right,
want.
to get in.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Well, let's get them out.
Punt away.
Come on. Punting. No punting.
No punt
No,
intended.
and I was trying
You
to
was
do that.
trying.
Timing.
You was trying. Should we play some music?
Timing.
Have you got anything, Shovel?
Yeah, let's do. Where are we?
Roxy music.
Let's do the money on the 20s right now. We'll take caller number 20 at 800-955 KLOS, and they'll qualify by winning a $25 gift card to Del Taco, and then they're in the running for the money, which is going to get given away at 5:20 p.m.
All
today.
right. Let's play some Roxy music. Virginia Plain.
Sweet.
Here with Mike McCready
Hello.
with his book. We're going to punt away. Take it away. You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS.
Hello.
That was Radio Stars, Dirty Pictures. Do you notice they said with my Polaroid Instamatic in it?
I heard that. Thank you.
See what I do for you?
You do a lot. And
Spoil you rotten.
I know. And you'll see that in the pictures too. Well, on the
Yeah.
Instagram. You'll see.
I'm going to post it a minute when I get a minute. Very good, very good. So we're here with Mike McCready, and he's,
Hello, Steve.
how are you?
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for asking me to do this.
I love it that
Yeah.
you're here. Are you doing a bunch of stuff?
You know what I'm doing? I'm doing some book stuff. I'm working with this band called Thunder Pussy right now, who I really like a lot from Seattle, and I'm trying to help them get signed. I did a single with them on Hockey Talker, which is my little record label.
You have a label?
Little tiny label called Hockey Talker, and we only do 45s. And that's how my son used to say helicopter. That's why.
Just singles,
Just singles. Yeah. And
vinyls.
yeah.
Wow.
So, because I like vinyl.
Does that make you much dough?
No, I mean the Thunder Pussy's done well, but the rest of them, it's kind of okay. I'm keeping my day job. We'll put it that way.
Do you think there's a resurgence in vinyl?
I hope so. I hear that. It's interesting to me, Steve, that vinyl is now $25 a piece to get, but kids are buying it. So in terms of the records, the full lengths, and that's a lot of dough for a record, but people are buying them. I hope there's a resurgence, or it's not just a fad.
Yeah.
We put all our stuff out on vinyl, so
Yeah.
we've done that a lot of times. We generally put it out Pearl Jam first, so
It's a lot of work, isn't it?
yeah, it's a ritual.
Yeah.
In terms of like getting the vinyl and looking at the artwork and pulling it out and putting it on and it's skipping or
That's what I used to
But,
do when I was 14.
right.
Put on an album, stare at the album cover for forever,
Mm-hmm.
and just drift off into fantasy land.
Me too. Over and over and over again.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. And I don't do it as much anymore, but I still collect vinyl and go to Amoeba and all that kind of stuff. So
Who did you listen to when you was a teenager?
So
Who was a big band for you?
when I was a teenager back then, I was in a metal a lot. So I liked Iron Maiden. I liked what else did I like? I liked a band called Girl with Phil
yeah.
Lewis, right?
Yeah.
Back then, Stone and I really liked that band a lot, and nobody knows. You probably know him through that. Phil Lewis, they were big. There's a band called TKO out of Seattle we liked a lot. That stuff. I remember hearing the Pistols for the first time in '81. Our singer for my band Shadow played it for me on a ski trip. We were like, listen to this, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So that I got into that a little bit, but it was mostly metal.
You're a metal guy.
I would say
at
that.
heart, yeah.
Yeah. My roots are in there.
Yeah.
And I'm spacing out on the other bands. But then I got into Stones and Van Halen and all that kind of stuff too. So
Do you rate him as a guitar player, Eddie Van Halen?
yes. I mean, I think that every time I see him, I go, oh yeah, he's the guy that invented that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like seeing a Beethoven or something of guitar. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I feel about him. And I just started playing that year, 78, the year after it came out. So
Now, Randy Rhoads,
mm-hmm.
who came first? Van Halen, Eddie, or
For me, it was Eddie for sure. And then when Randy came out, Randy's the guy that kind of made me want to play leads.
yeah,
So I have a huge respect for him. But Eddie, I mean, I saw him on the second album tour in Seattle, and changed my world. But I didn't understand it. It was like coming from another planet.
Yeah.
His playing, and I was learning to smoke on the water with my thumb. That's where I was back then.
yeah,
But yeah, and then Randy was the guy that kind of he had a feel, but he could do some of that stuff, but he had his own classical thing going on too. And I loved Ozzy, so that worked. And I had tickets to their show in the Paramount, and then he got killed in Florida, so never got to see him.
What a shame that was.
Yeah.
What a stupid move.
Yeah, it's a tough one to get in a fucking barnstorming plane. Oops, sorry. Oops.
I just like seeing Shovel jump up and point at him.
Sorry. It's just
You're relaxed. That's what
I
it
know.
is.
I am.
You relax with me.
You relax me.
I know.
Yeah. So
Do you want me to lick you
again,
for a Polaroid?
we could do that for my special Polaroid book that's coming out.
I don't want to just be a taker. I want to give.
You're giving right now. How about that? The people, our listeners can't see that.
They're
So-
going to see you in a minute when I get a minute to post something.
I'm happy. I'm happy that I got to be part of that.
What's your you're on Instagram, right?
I'm not on Instagram actually, because I don't. Know
What do
how
I
to-
do?
I don't.
So
I don't
you
know how
don't
to
do
that.
any of that stuff.
No, I do, but I have my Chris Adams over there who he does it for me.
Okay,
So
I'll ask
but
him then.
We have that stuff. I've got a Twitter and all that stuff, but I know how to Twitter.
And you can't be bothered, right? It's not your
No,
thing.
I just get in trouble. I'll
I
I'll put
see.
something on there about Pearl Jam, and it'll just be like, oh, shouldn't have put that out because now they're
Gotcha.
Ed's pissed, or or Jeff, or
Yeah, I got
So
you.
I always get in trouble. So
Yeah.
keep me away from that social media stuff.
Yeah, I get. In
That's why I do
trouble.
Polaroids, right?
I get in trouble sometimes.
Yeah.
Then I'll just blame my assistant, who I don't have.
Well,
It's
you gotta
me.
blame someone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah, it is.
The main thing is not to react. That's what I found.
Not to overreact.
Not to react at all.
Yeah.
on social media. Sorry to bore you with that.
No, I liked it.
You did?
I'm not on it yet, but I like it.
Don't bother,
Chris,
man.
remember that. Don't react. Okay.
Don't book. Got a new book out
Yes, sir.
of Potato Head and Polaroids,
Mhm.
is what it's called. My Life Inside and Out of Pearl Jam. How was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I watched that.
Did you?
What did you think of the whole trip? You know, getting there and getting up and speaking.
It's interesting. I felt like it's a big honor, and I know there's a bunch of controversy and going back and forth and all that, and I feel that going there, I was really excited about it. Then I got super nervous. We got there. It was run so well, because TV things can generally not be run well, and we got to play. I was completely honored. It was cool.
Was it in New York?
It was in New York at the Barclays Center.
Yeah.
So we got to play. I would have liked to warm up a little bit, in terms of musically, but I had a blast.
Yeah.
I can always say that happened, and I think everybody in our band felt that way.
Yeah.
Jeff had a shirt that said that all the bands that should be in there.
Right.
And I remember how you guys sent a letter, or Johnny said,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I respect too.
Yeah. But you're
Which
still
is
in
so
there.
Sex Pistols of it.
Yeah, but you're still in there.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Do you have your toy? What's it? A statue?
I have it. Yes.
What does it look like?
It's kind of it's a large, it almost looks like a music note, but it's not. Or I can't remember. I just pulled it out of the box about a week ago.
It's in some
2
box
weeks.
somewhere.
Yeah, and no, I have it prominently displayed in my studio, and I'm probably the only guy that is in my band that's prominently displaying it, because I'm that guy. So
I should get mine.
you should get it. Yeah,
It's somewhere.
yeah.
No one picked them up.
Somebody should get those, or they should send them to you. I'm sure that they have enough money to get some, like a FedEx.
Well,
to you.
they're kind of tight with money.
They can send you your Rock and Roll Hall of Fame statue, Steve. They should. At least.
FedEx.
If they're listening right now, please send it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So how did you pick the pictures in it? If you got 20,000,
Yeah.
how did you?
I went through a process of, I would take photos over the years, and I knew that, wow, maybe that someday that's a good shot,
How many are in the book?
I think there's 250 or 300.
Yeah.
So that was a shot of me during that. I think I gave them to, I picked out about 500, and I gave them to this Regan Hagar, who puts this stuff together, and he works for Pearl Jam sometimes, and he's a graphic artist, and he put this all together. I said, just please, you do this, because I'm done. I'm over Polaroids, and I was over. I'm back into it now, but I was way over it.
You know what's funny about Polaroids?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone looks the same.
Do they?
I swore
Oh,
I
kinda
saw
washed
myself
out?
20 times in there. You know what I mean? It was a part of it. It was a time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And everybody looks the same in the effect of Polaroids.
Yeah, and then this stuff too, like the
what's that?
And Duff and Susan here. It's just it's not processing the film right or something. It's the roller's starting to break on this camera.
That's not a leaf.
Nope. It's just an effect of the Polaroid.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of washed out. And like you said, the shots are all.
Yeah.
Some are good, some are not that great, but
I heard
Yeah.
I heard the geezer from Boston had a lot to do with the Polaroids.
That was told earlier. I had no idea he had part of that, but I heard he was a super technical guy.
Do you like
Or
him as
is.
a guitar player?
I liked when the first record came out. I would say that was in '77. That was probably the fourth song that I learned on guitar. Was the beginning of More Than the Feeling.
Yeah.
So yes, and then I was that was that record, and I was kind of over it because
Yeah.
it seemed like the second record felt like it was not as good as the first one.
Yeah,
to me.
it wasn't as produced as well. That's for sure.
Right. I think they spent so much time on the first one that it was. I mean, it was produced great. So
Did you have a Rockman?
yes, I did.
Who didn't? Right?
Yeah, I had the Rockman, the Tom Schultz Rockman, had the chorus on it. You plug the chorus. I actually used it as a preamp a couple times.
And was it a distortion too?
There's a distortion and a chorus on it, from what I recall.
He must have made a lot of bread, that guy.
He probably did.
If he made Polaroids and the Rockman,
And the Boston record sold a few,
he
right?
sold a lot.
Yeah.
I actually love that. I actually like Boston. I like his guitar playing.
Did you like it when you guys were coming out, though?
Yes.
You would listen to it?
Yes, but not tell anybody.
Yeah. That's very honest.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Journey too. I like them as well.
Yeah, me too. But I feel like their songs are just, you can never not kind of sing along with Journey.
Yeah.
So
I'm not proud of that video, the one they do running along the side of a
which one?
river somewhere. Sleepless nights.
Oh, I don't know if I know that one.
They're miming their instruments.
Okay, well, I've done that before. And
In the 80s.
It's kind of hard to.
In
to
the
pull up.
80s.
Yeah.
I think the director might have been doing Blow or something.
Well, if it was the 80s, for sure. That was probably part of the budget.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, right?
Some devil dandruff in the
Devil's
budget.
dandruff.
What was the name of the song?
Is it a slower one?
No.
No.
Dang, 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 ding, dang, ding, 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 dang, 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 ding, ding, ding.
Someday love will find you, break those chains that bind you. That one?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is it?
I'll
Do you have it?
love you. Separate ways.
Look at you, man.
Yes.
We
For
got
the win.
We got to play that now. We're here
we
with
do.
Mike
Let's rock
McCready.
it. Let's rock it.
Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS, bit of Journey for you.